Welcome back, everybody. This Sunday's Super Bowl is going to look a little different for fans and for advertisers. Major brands like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Budweiser have decided not to run commercials this year. Joining us right now to talk more about the Super Bowl ad strategy is Andrew Robertson. He's the president and CEO of BBDO Worldwide. And Andrew, this is going to look different this time around. It's a little shocking to hear brands that have been there for more than 20 years won't be there this time around. What do you think of that decision?
Well, I think each case is slightly different. If you take Pepsi, they're not running an ad, but they are still obviously sponsoring the halftime show with The Weeknd, and they have airtime booked in there. PepsiCo has airtime for Cheetos and Doritos and Mountain Dew. So they're still big in the game. Coke has pulled out. I think, I don't know the reasons, but I know that obviously Coke, with its big food service business, has had a pretty challenging year. So this may just be a question of cutting costs. And Budweiser, you had the CEO on the show earlier this week talking about the fact that they're just doing something different. They're taking the money that they would have put into the Super Bowl and putting it through the Ad Council into a campaign to get people vaccinated. So each is slightly different.
You think that this is going to be something that changes permanently, or do you think next year it's going to be game on again, back to business as usual with all those same brands?
Well, I think it'll depend what happens for the brands that are going to be on it. There are some off, but there are 19 new advertisers in this year's Super Bowl, some of whom have done particularly well through the pandemic, like DoorDash and Uber Eats, and even the story of the week, Robin Hood. It'll depend what they're trying to achieve. I would be surprised if some of those advertisers who are out this year aren't back in the future.
How much does an ad cost this time?
Well, nobody knows exactly, but we think about $5.5 million, which is down slightly from last year. Last year was about 5.6 for 30 seconds. They sold out eventually a few weeks ago. It took a lot longer to sell out this year, but that's not completely surprising because nobody was clear on what was going to happen. So a lot of people held back before committing.
The one thing I've wondered is just how valuable that lands. This is a congregation of a lot of eyeballs, but it's a smaller number than it used to be. How much of that decline in the price maybe this time around is just because of COVID and what's happened this time, and how much of it is just the way we change our viewing and how we see things?
Well, what's interesting is if you look at viewing of linear broadcast television, it's obviously down significantly through COVID as a rather fundamental changes in the way people are viewing, down 20 to 30% in prime time. But if you look at the NFL, it's only been down 7% across the regular season. And actually, the championship games had audiences that were higher than they were last year. And I'm reasonably hopeful that the audience for the Super Bowl itself will be at least as high as it was last year and possibly higher. And just to put it in context, I've been trying to do the maths on this. We had 101 million people watch it last year. That's 21 billion minutes viewed. Netflix got all excited about Bridgerton being, their biggest streaming success ever, with 82 million households reached. But their definition of a reach is somebody watching 2 minutes of a streamed show. So I'm willing to bet, Reed Hastings may give us the data to prove it, I'm willing to bet that the Super Bowl is bigger than the whole of Bridgerton.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.